What's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing well. Now, we've already watched most of this documentary together, I'd say, or at least, we watched most of it together, all right? So we might as well finish it up. I don't know if I'm going to finish the whole thing in this video. Probably not, but we're going to continue from where we left off in the last video, all right? So do not forget, before I start, I am giving away an Insider Plus or All Access membership to the Daily Wire at the end of the month. So all you gotta do is like, comment, share, and subscribe, and you in a chance to win it. All right. So yeah, with that out the way, let's get into the video, you guys.
I noticed that real estate seems to be a common theme amongst these transgendered organizations. Remember, there's the first ever transgender district, and there are also a couple of houses that are named on their IRS documents. For example, an additional $200,000 was given to the House of Tulip. According to their website, the House of Tulip provides zero-barrier housing to trans and gender non-conforming people.
See, I think the most disappointing part about all of this is just the fact of knowing where the money actually went. That's the most disappointing part about all of this, because it's a slap in the face to people that actually, believed it, bought into this organization, this movement, whatever you want to call it. And actually, did give money. I'm talking about the people who couldn't afford to give a lot of money, who really supported this because they thought it was going to do some good. And, look at where this money is going, to the House of Tulips and all this other crazy
But the one that really stood out as the most nonsensical is the $200,000 that went to the Griffin Gracie Retreat and Educational Center, known as House of Gigi for short. According to that website, they provide services and resources that positively impact the lives, history, and visibility of transgender, gender questioning, and gender non-conforming persons.
It's like, how did everything become about that group? This is the Black Lives Matter organization. How did everything become about that group of people? That's where $2 million plus dollars went.
They admit that they purchased a property in Little Rock, Arkansas back in 2019, and that property was supposed to serve as an oasis and a retreat for transgendered person. But they admit, also on the website, that they actually never held such a retreat. First, because their founder had a stroke and was recovering, and then it was COVID-19, so they still couldn't host a retreat. And despite having never hosted a retreat at this amazing oasis property that they purchased, in 2021, they announced that they purchased a second property next door to the first one. So
they just running the tab up.
Yeah.
God.
Now, all of the organizations that I just mentioned, none of them, not one, is up to date on filing a tax return with the IRS, which is required for charities, because charities, remember, they don't pay taxes.
None though? None? So all of these companies that BLM just so happen to donate money to are evading taxes. Is that not suspicious? You know what I'm saying? I noticed a lot of people in the comments on the previous videos I've done on this documentary, because yes, the videos are hitting the algorithm, they blowing up, whatever you want to call it. People, even somehow people have a problem with Candace's approach to this documentary. Like, I watched the whole thing. We all sat here and watched the whole thing. Nothing about this documentary has been disrespectful or out of pocket. She has questions. She's looking for answers. She's following her nose. She's following her nose on where the answers, the truth is leading her. That's all of this is. I just don't understand the hate. But haters will be haters, whatever.
In other words, I'm not able to tell you how any of these transgendered organizations spent the money that BLM poured into their organizations during the 2020 and 2021 tax year. If you continue to look through BLM IRS docs, you'll notice that they gave millions of dollars to various Black Lives Matter organizations throughout America, or at least at first glance, it appears that they did. A closer look, you'll see that they actually dispersed that funding to organizations that were in care of Black Lives Matter. This means that actually
to conduct activities to educate and support Black communities. Black Lives Matter, Detroit, Lansing, Michigan, Long Beach. So this is the branches all throughout the country. Philadelphia. Okay.
Organization is accepting the donation.
Oh, wow. Okay, this 568.
On behalf of BLM. So I decided to investigate that further, and I noticed a really bizarre pattern. A lot of those organizations train activists. They train the youth to become activists in their communities. One organization even goes as far as bragging on their website about their history of getting arrested, protesting, and they offer courses on various techniques like bird dogging. That's a technique that's used to confront politicians. I thought to myself, it's interesting because I kept hearing over and over again while filming this documentary that people felt as though the protesters that arrived throughout these cities weren't actually from the cities that they arrived in. They didn't know where they had come from. I don't know, buses, there was this idea that buses were showing up filled with protesters. It's a fair question then. Is it plausible that Patrice was giving money to groups that were creating protesters or training activists rather?
And when we call people like this useful pawns, I mean, come on, man. What good has it done? What good has this organization done up until now?
I mean, why else would Patrice give millions of dollars to so many trained activists? I wanted to investigate that piece a little further, and so I made some phone calls.
Before Candace goes into this part, I just want to say it's a great saying, and it is the road. What is it? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Just because it's wrapped in gold and it sounds sweet, that don't mean it's always gonna be a positive net outcome.
So I want to call some of these groups today, pretend that I want to give money to the organization, and see what I can find out about what they do. I get the feeling that none of these multi-million-dollar organizations are gonna pick up the phone.
We are not able to take your call. The Google subscriber you have called is not available.
No response.
You have the wrong number. Thanks and goodbye.
What?
Please leave a message after the tone.
No one's available.
Your call cannot be completed at
Who are these people?
The Google subscriber you have called is not available.
The number you have reached is not sorry.
Oh, hello, this is me. I am the co-coordinator of development and communications. Is the boots on the ground place, the place where the seeds are sown for the movement to continue to grow.
How are you guys involved actively, not just in, we want to know how you are actually active?
Yes, we are trainers, we are healers, we are artists, we are creators, but most importantly, we are on the front lines. We are fighting for freedom consistently through education.
This is great. Obviously, we were, like I said, we gave millions and millions of dollars after the horrific killing of George Floyd. If we give your organization $1 million and something like that happens, right? How are you getting involved?
In the past, has provided movement support and accompaniment on the front line at protests. We have supported bail funds. We have supported pop-up workshops. We are not only keeping people prepared by preparing their minds for the movement, but we're also putting them in community with spiritual workers and with other educators on the ground during those protest efforts, along with the made a significant gift for this specific purpose of bailing out protesters during the 2020 uprising.
That's so wonderful.
One of our economics and governance organizers who works for was actually arrested in Kentucky as part of a protest, and we have been standing with her throughout that work and been showing up for court dates and packing the court and
Well, you heard it here, guys. She snitched on herself.
Her legal support. So
that's what we want to see. That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time. I hope you have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much.
W Covert Mission by Candace. I bet there's people that's gonna have a problem with what she did. Shut up. Who cares? It's for the documentary. She's trying to find out the truth. Deal with it. All right.
Training activists, making sure that people's minds are poisoned and that they know that they're supported through bailing out. We will bail you out. We've got the money to bail you out. And that's kind of what this is all about. The investigation continues. Now, the organization that received the biggest grant from Black Lives Matter, according to their filing, is an organization called Living Through Giving Foundation. The Living Through Giving Foundation, per their mission statement, strives to connect people through organized acts of love. They run a program called #LunchBag. This program allegedly brings people together to create bagged lunches in which they write handwritten love notes, and then they distribute the bagged lunches to local communities. That sounds nice, right? I thought so too. I thought to myself, I want to attend one of these events, but when I went to their website, there were no upcoming events. And when I went to the website to explore past events and learn more about the original givers, I was met with a coming soon page.
So it almost seems like they making like dummy organizations. It's legit, that everything's all legit, but whoever is at the head of it, whoever gets the money that they send, or however they had it going, it was someone that they knew, and they all funneled that money back into the bigger purchases. Again, a scam, just a scam. I mean, anyone who gave money to this honestly got duped.
So I wondered, who is the executive director of this organization that accepted $2.3 million from Black Lives Matter Global Foundation? Of course, when I went to the IRS website, they also had neglected to file an up-to-date return, but there was a name at least, and that name was AJ Reeland, listed as the executive director. AJ owns 3 coffee shops in California. You'd have to imagine my surprise, though, when I found an article about his coffee shop opening in 2019, and buried within the piece was a picture of none other than Patrisse Cullors, sitting there with her friends having coffee. In 2019, meaning Patrisse Cullors had a relationship with AJ Reeland that predates the George Floyd protests. So exactly why did she transfer BLM money to her old friend AJ via his charity that is nothing more than really a splash page with no upcoming events? Is she a part owner of those coffee shops? Is she an investor? I will leave that as the $2.3 million question. What I can say for certain is that you don't just send your non-black friend $2.3 million just because. Perhaps most hilariously, you'll recall that the founders of Black Lives Matter pride themselves on being abolitionists. They want to abolish the old systems of white supremacy, the systems which keep Black America away from garnering our true generational wealth and financial freedom in this horrible country.
At this point, we really are just watching it together. I'm just playing it because I want y'all to see it, man. Y'all been showing so much love, man. So I just want y'all to see the video.
Which makes it somewhat odd that they invested $32 million into the stock market. Wall Street, what a great way to abolish the system of white.
Oh, out of the 800,000, they put 32 million into the stock market.
$32 million into the stock market. Wall Street, what a great way to abolish the system of white supremacy.
I mean, see, look, this don't hit home. This don't hurt me because I didn't give him a penny. I didn't give him anything. So this don't really this don't trigger me or hurt my feelings at all. But again, like I said earlier, I feel for the people that did, and not the rich people that gave money. I'm talking about the people like mom and dad, and you know what I'm saying, like aunties who giving their money away to these people, man, and they got ripped off.
Invest in stocks. I think that the IRS stocks in the end lead to more questions than they do answers. And if you were an individual who gave to this organization, a well-meaning individual who gave because you thought it was going to help Black America, then you should get answers to those questions.
Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm not sure exactly what's about to happen next, but I think I'm going to save this for another video, and I'll probably react to this, and that'll be it. We would have watched this whole thing together, all right? So, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for your chance to win Insider Plus or All Access membership to the Daily Wire. But, yeah, that's it for the video, guys. I'm out. Peace.